Hi, I'm Karyn Buxman, nurse, author, neurohumorist, and here with my two dear colleagues and friends, Kathy Dempsey, who is the founder of the Shedding Revolution, change expert, and also nurse, and then LeAnn Thieman, nurse, and she is like world famous for her Chicken Soup for the Nurse's Soul series and founder of Self-Care for Healthcare. And together we have combined our wit and wisdom to found the three NightinGALS. And we are here to honor, celebrate, and recognize you. You are out there, you are busting it, you are working so hard, and we know how busy you are. We just want to tell you how much we appreciate you and share our input on how we can make your day better. And so we received an email this week from one of our followers who wanted to know, how can I improve my physical well-being with all of the demand of COVID? And so we combined our thoughts on this, and we're going to share these with you. So LeAnn, can you kick us off?
Well, certainly. I think there are very trying times, and people then sometimes in these times such as this actually neglect their own health. Often nurses especially are so busy taking care of everybody else that they forget to take good care of themselves. So I think we have to really take care of our physical bodies and pay attention to it. We schedule everything else. We must schedule getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. And don't laugh out loud. I know that's really hard when you're working 12s.
Right.
But not everybody out there is working a 12-hour shift. And even if you do, on those nights that you're off, especially, schedule that sleep. Set an alarm to go to bed, not just to get up. Turn off technology, turn off electricity, and get 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night that you can. And exercise, and that's really, really hard, especially when you're working long shifts. But it still is important. I'm never going to say, oh, that's okay if you're too busy. You don't have to take care of yourself. I'll always tell you, you have to get in at least 15 minutes of exercise. And believe it or not, running up and down the corridors in the hospital doesn't count. To be out where you can stretch your legs and take a deep breath, or be on a bicycle or a stationary bike or something even, to get those endorphins going, to let your mind be free as you're getting 15 minutes of exercise, at least that every day. Some people tell me that they have a lot more time on their hands right now that they hadn't expected. And to those people, I say, for all those days when they said, you know, I wish I had more time to take good care of myself, this would be a good time to really prioritize it, take care of your body by getting the exercise and the sleep and the proper nutrition and eating right. I've heard some people say, I'm going to gain 50 pounds before this is over. There's a lot of things we can't control, but what we can control is what we put in our mouths. So to talk more about that will be my good friend and expert, Kathy.
Yeah, LeAnn, great advice about exercise and sleeping. They are just critical to staying physically healthy, and of course diet is too. I mean, I can't tell you the amount of times that I've seen on Facebook people say COVID-19. I'm like, what is that? And then they'll explain, well, the expectation is that I'm going to gain 19 pounds during COVID-19. So it's almost, and people are kind of, you know, saying, yeah, I probably will too. So you think about, you know, wow, if you have that expectation that you're going to gain 19 pounds, that may happen. But how do we treat our diet, especially during this time here? And for those of you who are working crazy hours and crazy days and 60, 70 hours a week, you know, I've been there as an ER trauma nurse, and I know that, you know, it's like, when am I going to get food? And then when I get food, I just grab the most unhealthy food. The processed food, I mean, the food that tastes the best, the comfort food. It's not the healthiest, but I got something in my body, and I really hadn't thought about what am I putting in my mouth. So for those of you, you know, even when you're off and not working, to think about when you do go to the grocery store, just think about buying fresh food, produce, and staying out of the middle part of the grocery store, which is more canned foods and processed foods and a lot of sodium, and try to really eat healthy.
Well, and to that point, Kathy, I think that's really good. And I'm all about people who are working in the hospitals taking breaks. And I've been there. 30 years I was there. I know how hard it is to take a break. But it's so important, even if it's 20 minutes. And the last I knew, hospital cafeterias also served healthy food. So again, we do have choices.
Yes, we do have choices. That's a great point to make, LeAnn. And to make, even if you don't have the most, make the most healthy choice you can of the choices. If you don't have like what you would think would be the best, healthiest choice. So, Karyn, what do you think?
I'm just thinking about all the snacks I used to take to work. It's like, but it's about being intentional. You know, all of this is just about being proactive rather than reactive. And I love the input that you both have shared, and you know, thinking about how that relates to me in my life, even though I'm not running up and down the halls of a hospital anymore. And then Kathy, when you were talking about healthy hospital food, I'm having this flashback to this time I was in a hospital once, and I went down, and the healthiest choice they had in my mind was the creamed spinach. So I come back up and I have my little dish of creamed spinach and I'm eating it, and then I bite down and there's a crunch, and I'm thinking, what's crunchy in creamed spinach? And I looked, and it was a little ladybug.
Oh,
a ladybug,
protein. Which leads
added
me
protein.
to my next. It was protein.
Yes.
And it's funny now, which is my point, which is, you know, when we're trying to be physically healthy, how can we implement humor intentionally? I believe that humor is not a nicety in these times. It is a necessity. And when we are so crazy busy, sometimes we're so busy. I hear nurses all the time who tell me, oh my gosh, I remember when I used to laugh. Mm-hmm. I don't want this to be something that was in your past. I want this to be something that's in your present. And it's not just because it feels good. It does feel good to laugh, and it's good for you. What science is showing us is that for every body system that's negatively affected by stress, we can now positively affect those systems with humor and laughter.
Oh, good.
Whether it's muscle tension, whether it's your immune system. Very fascinating, the results on humor and the immune system, which are short-term, medium range, and long-term effects. And a great piece of news right now is that people who use humor intentionally show an increase not only in their immune system overall, but particularly immunoglobulin A, which is very helpful in fighting respiratory illnesses. And so in a time such as this, humor, again, not a nicety, it's a necessity. How can you arm yourself? With all of the stress that's going on, we know our norepinephrine is going up, our adrenaline is going up, our cortisol is going up. But cortisol causes an inflammatory process in our body, which over the long term is going to result in aches, pains, heart disease, nerve issues, immune issues. We really want to, you know, cortisol is that inflammation process, and it fans the flames of a lot of other disease processes. You can take this into your own hands, and you can practice humor. You know, Kathy and LeAnn and I, we spend so much time laughing together, reminiscing over things that we used to do in healthcare and things that we practice now and experiences that we have. And so what are some ways that you can find the humor around you? Raise your senses, be in the moment, be in the now. You're going to hear things and see things that your colleagues are missing. If you have the attitude of, but you don't understand, there is nothing funny happening where I work. All I can say is that if that's your belief, that's your reality.
That's right.
Yep.
But if you believe that there's something humorous there, I promise you, you can find it. And the more you do it, the more you will wire your brain and the easier it'll become. And so with that, we really want you to proactively take into account what we talked about today, you know, with the diet and the exercise and the foods and the humor and the laughter. What do you think, guys?
Sleep.
I mean, and sleep. Oh my gosh, yes. Don't forget the sleep. Yes. So with that, we just want to say, we so appreciate you watching this, and whether you are a nurse, whether you are a healthcare provider, or whether you're a cheerleader for somebody who is, we thank you for watching this. We hope that you will share it with others who would benefit from this. We really do want to help make your life better right now. And if you are wondering who in the world are these people, you can find out a little bit more about us if you go to the website yearofthenurse.com. You'll find some information about us there. We'd love to connect with you, whether it be on social media, whether it be via websites, whether it be via email. We're here to serve you. We really are here to recognize, honor, and celebrate you. And so with that, we say, be healthy, be safe, and Godspeed.